Alright friends, I've been putting this video off for a few weeks now because I wanted to see my own results of taking testosterone. It's called testosterone replacement therapy. And for women, it's called hormone replacement therapy. A lot of women going through perimenopause or full-blown menopause, their emotions are all out of control, their thoughts, life reflections, midlife crisis, like this happens typically during perimenopause and into menopause, which is, mid-40s, again, midlife crisis age, perfect, leads to divorce, separation, bad decisions, looking back for women in particular. But men and women both have, a midlife crisis, typically in their 40s. Men, we tend to, I'm going to go buy the hot rod car, or, get a young chick, and women don't tend to go do the hot rod car thing, but they may want to, be with somebody else or separate or divorce. There's studies that show in that prime age, 40s, typically during perimenopause, the divorce rates skyrocket. It's just they go hand in hand. And I believe it's because the woman's emotions and estrogen gets lower, progesterone gets lower. Sometimes their testosterone does too. Their sex drive goes way down. I don't know. So I've been doing a lot of research lately because for the longest time, since forever, my wife and I have been married. So, my number is 22. We've been married 22 years right now. She was 22 when we got married, which means I would have been 24. And so it's 2002. So there's a 2 at the front, 2 in the end, 2002. But I'll just go ahead and say it. I don't care. Her sex drive was through the roof, especially in her 20s and 30s, and even now in the 40s, she's kind of amazing. But 20s and 30s, my sex drive was not anywhere near hers. And the thing is, you feel normal. This is me. This is just how I am. Like once a week's good. Sometimes twice a week. Hey, I'm happy. It's fine. Her, on the other hand, or in your case, maybe your partner, man, I need it more than that. So what do? Well, let me try to, accommodate them. But if you're not in the mood, man, you just can't force yourself, especially if you have low testosterone as a man. And I have had low testosterone my whole adult life. And my wife, being the health expert she is, told me long ago, like, you should get your blood checked, and I did. And they say it's normal. Oh, you're within the normal range, but that's if you see a regular doctor. It's like 280 to 850, let's say, is the range. So me, I'm like, oh, I'm right at 280. Well, you're in normal. Or one time I checked, it was 290. I think one time it was 300. And typically that's where I was, 280, 290, 300. So you're within normal, oh, you're fine. And for women who are going through perimenopause and having depression and all these other symptoms, and like, I don't know what I would do with my life. Do I need a divorce? They're being prescribed antidepressants and all this crap, and it's totally wrong. It's not the right thing. They need hormone replacement therapy, which gives them a boost in estrogen, progesterone, and possibly they may add a little testosterone in there too. And sometimes I think a thyroid one in some cases. But, I've been doing research like crazy lately because I started approximately 6 weeks ago. So anyway, she's been telling me for years, like, please do something. And I'd get close to, I don't want to put shots in myself. Like, I feel like I'm messing my body up, man. Like, I'm normal. Like, you just have a high sex drive, like, and it's not just that, right? So low testosterone, there's a lot of different symptoms. And you're like, oh, check that box, check that box, check that box. And it's like, oh, you get angry easily and snap, like go from 0 to 100 rather than like build up getting angry. And I go, man, that's me. The dumbest little thing could set me off, and I'd scream and yell about something, dishes, the floor, cat litter, whatever, just stuff. And looking back, which I've done a lot of looking back in the last 2 months, by the way, and it just kind of hit me even before I decided I'm going to go ahead and do the testosterone stuff, finally, because my wife, I got close a few times, I just wouldn't do it. So here I'm 22 years later, now that I'm on it, 6 weeks later, I'm telling you right now, God, I wish I could go back and talk to myself when we first got married. Dude, get on this stuff right away. It's going to change your life in many ways than just your sex life. So that was one of the things I had issues with. I could get mad easily, yell and scream about something stupid, and then I'm over it real quick. But the damage I caused to my wife and kids is, looking back, they're 19, 19, and 16 as far as the girls are concerned. Ian's 5, but he's never really got to experience me like screaming and yelling for the most part. I do remember one time we were in the car and I made them all cry, screaming and yelling about something, actually another dumb thing. I know what it was, something stupid. And I got my wife crying, all 3 girls were crying, because you raise your voice so loud and scream, it's powerful enough to do that to somebody, especially women. And my son was there in the car when that happened, but he was probably 3 years old and probably will never remember it. Thank God, right? Because I look back and I told my wife this. I said, man, looking back at how I was in those kinds of instances, like, I don't even know if I'd want to be friends with myself. Like, if I knew that guy yelled and screamed at his wife or kids that way, I don't even know if I'd want to be their friend. But it is a symptom of low testosterone. And the times I've received letters, poems, emails from my wife, I don't feel like you're there. And I'm sure a lot of you guys probably have heard this. You're there, but you're not there. I don't know, I feel like you're not, I don't feel the love from you, da 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 da. And I'm just like, man, here I am in my mind. I'm content. Everything's happy. My life is good. And then I get one of these letters. I didn't like, where the hell did that come from? It's like, well, you've been receiving those letters your whole life, man. And, the emotional side of you as a man, if your testosterone's low, I don't know what your estrogen's going to be, but it's probably lower than normal too, I would bet. And as a man, you don't need estrogen as much as you do testosterone, but you will have some, and it deals with your emotions. So I decided I'm going for it. I'm going to do it. So I get on it, and I come to find out, like, almost all my friends have already been on it, but most men don't want to tell you that, even your friends, because it's kind of like, like, I don't need any help, I'm a man, but it's like, are they doing this to us in the food, in the air, in the water, in a subtle kind of way that we're getting lowered, again, to stop us from having kids is the ultimate goal? I don't know. And the guy that I talked to at the health clinic, he goes, that worked there, he goes, dude, we're seeing guys now on a regular basis in their 20s. He goes, that's not supposed to be. Like, 40s is where it starts, not your 20s, when your testosterone really starts going down. He goes, it should be in the 40s. And he goes, we're seeing guys in their 20s now. He goes, something's just going on. So that's, of course, my conspiracy brain going, yeah, I think we're being targeted. But regardless, I've had low testosterone my whole life. So I got on this stuff. They're like, my buddies are like, in 2 weeks, your wife better be ready, and my wife was ready, and 2 weeks hit. Yeah. Oh my God. The thoughts, right? When you want to have sex with somebody, right? It starts with a thought, a craving, a dirty thought, right? Of what I'd like to do with them, or envision, or a fantasy, right? And the fantasies that were coming into my mind, strictly about my wife, by the way, it's like it's not, I'm not wandering off and seeing a hot chick walk by and go, ooh, it's really like, doesn't change anything. Like, no, it's for my wife. And just these thoughts, I can't get them out of my mind. I can't keep my hands off of her at night. Like, let me see. Never mind. Thought I saw a message coming in. So I'm just like, cannot keep my hands off her. I was keeping her awake for the first week or so, maybe more, after it kicked in 2 weeks into it. Like middle of the night, 3 a.m., 2 a.m., sorry. And she's a champ. You know, she's like, I'll never say no, okay? I'm like, all right, you know, sounds good to me, because I need it, because they're typically going to give you more than you need at first and then dial you back after your 6-week checkup, which I just did and just got the blood results. I'm waiting on a phone call from them any day now. And sure enough, my testosterone went from 280, 290, 300 to 1300. Like, no wonder I'm a freaking raging bull right now. Man. So I want to say too, though, you know, you go up in testosterone, your estrogen's automatically going to go up. So you take a pill, you're taking shots twice a week in your butt typically, because it's easy back there, to do the testosterone twice a week. And then each of those 2 days, you're going to take an anti-estrogen pill, because your estrogen is going to come up when your testosterone goes up. So I've been taking that, but my estrogen's a little high, because I just saw the results. They want it to be between 20 and 30, maybe 39 at the most. Mine was 50, you know, so not too awfully high, but still high enough. And I can tell I'm a little more emotional than normal. I could tell, you know, again, about that 2 or 3 week period after taking the shots. But like things that would set me off in the old Joe, so to speak, scream and yell about something dumb. Not even kind of. Not even getting mad at all. I mean, I recognize, oh, that would trigger me, but I'm not actually getting to the point where I'm screaming and yelling about something. Just like, oh, the dog took a crap on the carpet. Oh, sorry. Rather than tell my wife, hey, it's your dang dog. You or the kids clean that up. You know, I told you I don't want nothing to do with these animals. Let me go clean it up. She needs help with some of the stuff she does, laundry and stuff. I find myself wanting to help her. And I never, ever wanted to do any chores and things like that. And here I am for now 2 months, roughly. Almost going on 2 months nearly. Helping her out. Like helping her around the house. Like, you know, a normal man probably should help. And she's like, gosh, I don't even know what to do with you. Like, this is kind of nice, you know, but like, I don't know how to even react. She's like, I've never had this from you. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Just go with the flow, I guess, you know, because I want to help you. Like, I feel like I want to help you, man. I'm, you know, rather than scream and yell about the dishes or something, even though it's none of it's mine, you know what? God, I think I'd rather just clean it and help you or the kids even, you know. Emily's off to her trade school thing early in the morning. She left some dishes. I'll just clean it. You know, so everything is so much more calmer around the house. I don't get mad anymore. I look back at my life feeling like, God, I wish I could have talked to myself about this, man. And I mean, there's 60-something-year-olds, even 70-year-olds, man and woman, taking the hormone therapy. And they're like, we feel 20 years younger. We're having sex like we were in our 20s. It's amazing. We're super passionate and intimate. And I'm going, yeah, oh yeah. Looking at my sex life right now, like it's very passionate, honestly, more so than normal. And it just comes with it. I don't know how to explain it. But again, there's all these other things it affects in your other parts of your life that's very beneficial. And I'm like, oh my God, I just wish I would have known this. I mean, and I'm like, well, you did know it. She told you your whole life. Joe, you should try this. Look into this. Get a blood test. Let's check your levels. Yeah, you're low. It says normal, but you're low. She knew. You know, she knew. So, you know, right now I'm like, well, I'm making up for lost time. So, you know, she's not complaining. So I'm like, heck yeah, this is cool. But I got to get lowered. It's 1300's way too high. Maybe 700-800 would be a good number from what I understand. That this guy that works at the clinic likes his guys to be at around 800, unless you get dialed down and you're like, man, I'm not feeling as good as I was. But like, I feel like I'm more confident in myself for whatever reason. Not that I've ever felt like I wasn't confident. But again, the old self is like, I'm normal. This is how I feel, because it's all emotions. You don't realize there's an issue until you do this stuff as an older man, especially. I'm 47. So it's like, oh my God, I do feel 20 years younger. I lost some weight recently, right? You've seen it in my face. You can see it right now. I've gained some muscle mass. What the me, my little scrawny, skinny ass I've been my whole life, hated lifting weights, never could get into it like my buddies. And now I'm doing these basic exercises at night with my wife, mainly for dance stuff, because she's heavy in the dance all of a sudden, the last 8-9 months. And I decided I'm going to join her. It's a lot of fun. It's good exercise. Like, it's just cool. But hey, you need a stronger frame, and like, you need to do these exercises, you know, everybody, men and women. So we just do these very basic exercises at night, push-ups, planks, and some kind of a, not really a sit-up. It's kind of one where you stretch your arms all the way above your head. You lay on your back, your feet are straight out like a board, and you lift your arms up and your stomach up along with your legs at the same time. You know, it's basically kind of a sit-up. I don't know what they call them, but that's kind of it. I do a little bit of dumbbells right after that sometimes, but like not even heavy weights. And my wife's looking at me going, oh my God, you kind of got a six-pack going on. It's kind of sexy. You know, like, look at your arms. You got some tone coming out. And I'm like, oh, damn, I think you're right. Son of a bitch. You know, and we're dancing, and she's got her hand on my arm. She's like, I can feel your muscles right now. I was like, dang. And a while back, I don't know where it even came from. I'm like, if you walk by me right now, this is like, again, about 2 months ago. And I'm like, serious, like, you walk by me, we don't know each other. You look over at me, I look at you. And my scale from 1 to 10, just be honest. She goes, I'll say a 7. I go, okay. I was gonna say an 8 for you. She goes, okay. So that was that. So then I go, after she's noticing like my muscle tone starting to come out, I go, oh, hey. I go, look, you said, like, we're looking in the mirror at each other. I'm like, look, I was a 7, you know, before. I'm trying to get maybe to an 8, you know. And she's like, you're already an 8 now. And I go, oh shit, okay. So anyways, like, you get on testosterone. If you get hurt, you heal faster. You will lose a little weight automatically and build some muscle. Typically, you'll have a little bit of tone without even trying. And again, I'm like, yep, but I'm actually trying a little bit. So it's just one of these things. I go, man, there might be a series of videos coming from me on this journey of testosterone replacement therapy. But I've already told a few people I know, husbands and wives, you know, like, dude, I'm not going to lie. It's like changed my life for the better. And I'll be honest. I cried for days off and on in the beginning, because I was reflecting so hard at how I treated my wife and kids with just anger, yelling could make them cry. Again, over the dumbest things. And some of the dumbest things I would say to them, you know, again, just, and then now that I'm on this, I can go, oh my God, it's like I'm a different person, and I recognize it, because that was me before thinking I was normal. I felt normal. And now here's me feeling really good, and it's freaking chemicals, you know, like a hormone. Are you kidding me? This is what's going on. And then again, the women who get it bad, they're being given antidepressants and all this crap, and then nothing's working, and then they're like, oh my God, I want to punch my doctor in the face. I've been doing this for 2 years. I finally got on hormone therapy, and it fixed all of my problems. My hot flashes went away. My cold sweats at night went away. My acne on my back went away. My sleepless nights went away. The yada, 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 yada. And that, again, perimenopause into menopause, typically you'll find that. But even after that, you know, because typically in menopause, women are kind of done, you know, having kids and everything else, and their hormones are going to be low, you know, estrogen and all that stuff. But the thing is, for guys, you got to have the anti-estrogen, because you get too much. And one of my buddies goes, hey, have you cried yet watching a movie? You know, like a sad movie or something. And I go, no, I haven't. But I thought, well, have you really watched any sad movies lately? And I'm thinking, no. Because he goes, that's how I would always tell my estrogen was too high. And I'd have to take either an extra pill, or they'd just give me a higher dosage as they were dialing me in, you know. And it takes many, many, many months to really dial you in. But once you're dialed in, like, okay, this is my sweet spot. This is where I feel the best. This works great for me, you know. And again, right now, my numbers are high, because I just started this. So I already know they're going to lower me. And I was taking 0.5, I guess, ml, or I don't know, whatever in the shot, the syringe. 0.5, and that's a standard number apparently. But I knew I was high because the kind of raging that was going on sexually with me. I go, I'm out of control. This is unbelievable. Like this has to stop. Like I can't. This is no way. There's like no reprieve for my wife or even myself. I go, this is just nuts. And so I'll go, I know I'm gonna be high. I'm gonna start taking 0.4 without even asking. And I did Saturday, and that's the same day I did my blood work, and then it came in yesterday, I think. And I go, yep, 1,300 testosterone. That is too high. That is too high, man. No wonder why I'm freaking raging over here. Jesus, help me. So, you know, they may be like, hey, you need to go down to 0.3. But as you go down, the estrogen's going to come down anyway. So I don't know. You know, again, it's like you're going to have to, you do it for a while, another 6 weeks. We lowered you. Let's see where the numbers are next. Once you get dialed in, they make these little, like, size of a little smaller than a grain of rice. And it's all of that stuff you need, testosterone and such, into one thing. And they inject it in the some fat part of your butt, and it stays in there and just slowly dissolves over 3 to 4 months. So you don't have to do the twice a week shot thing. It just stays in there and is a slow release for 3 or 4 months, and you come back and do it again. And I go, okay, when I get dialed in, I think that's what I'd rather do, you know, rather than have to carry, if I'm going to New Mexico, got to bring my little package of shots and testosterone and stuff. Like, all I would need to bring is my pills, you know, and for the anti-estrogen. So I just want to tell you guys, men and women out there, in your 40s, sometimes it starts in the 30s, you should probably get your testosterone, you get your hormones checked, men and women, especially if you're having marital problems or, again, sex-related problems. They want it more, you want it more, and see about doing this. Maybe you have some of the anger issues like I had with just getting angry at the dumbest things easily. And then, like, why did I yell? I couldn't stop myself. Like, if I could just stop myself for 1 second and take a effing break, a breath. Don't explode, just couldn't help it. And I'm like, I feel like part of my life was robbed because if I had a low testosterone, that's not my fault. But at the same time, I'm the one that did that stuff. I'm the one that yelled. I'm the one that made them cry, you know? So I did a lot of reflecting on that, man. And I pulled all 3 kids aside separately, the girls, and just had a long talk with them about my low testosterone and why I yelled, and it made me, you know, not that I'm trying to come up with excuses, but I wanted to explain, like, this is what happened, you know, and I know I made you cry, and I know there's times that you'll never forget. You will never forget. And I cried. I sat there and cried right in front of them, man, trying to apologize and just say, like, I'm sorry. I was a bad dad, and husband, it's not how it should have been. And the funny thing is, you know, I've been doing all this spiritual growth with Woo Woo Dude, and he's got me doing, you know, the headphones and all this stuff at night. And I could just tell, like, I just go, man, I feel like I'm just not progressing further. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on it. There's something I'm not doing. I don't know what. Do I need to listen to different music? It's like, I don't even know. And then I realized a true shaman could not be angry and yelling at his family, especially, right? And I go, oh man, I think I needed this to get me into a place where I can progress. Because you couldn't be that old guy and progress. You got to be the new guy. You got to be the new Joe. It's like, oh my God, I think that's making sense to me. So the guy that was at the clinic that worked there, he goes, dude, I started at 40, you know, however old he is now. He goes, I'm just going to tell you, I'll take this stuff to the day I die. And talking to my buddies, I think I would, even only 6 weeks, almost 7 weeks into this right now, for me, I think I might say the same thing. And it's all hormones. Women especially, perimenopause, menopause, like, you girls, you don't even know. So if you're out there and you're struggling, or you had a hysterectomy and you're all out of whack, oh my God, do you need probably, like I could almost say with 100% certainty, you need HRT, hormone replacement therapy. But I'm not a doctor, and I'm not giving you advice. I'm just telling you one man's experience that is mind-blowing to me, what this has done for me. And sometimes there's couples that do it at the same time, the hormone therapy. And again, they're like 60s and 70s, like, oh my God, we feel 20 years younger. And look, I'm 47, but I'm still going to tell you, I feel like a lot younger self. And again, I feel like I'm proud. I'm like standing taller. My head's higher. Like, I don't know where that came from, but it just happened. And it's just, God, you just don't understand what these hormones do to people, feelings and emotions and all this stuff. And I'm like, man, I've got feelings for my wife 22 years later. And all those letters and poems she would write me of her needs. Oh my God, I'm there. I'm feeling it. Like, what the F? Probably some of that estrogen is what's maybe making me feel that way. I don't think it would be purely the testosterone, but nonetheless, I'm like, oh my God, I actually, like, I have feelings that I didn't quite have before. I could feel it. It's a difference. I'm like, oh my God. And it's just like, it's mind-boggling. But I wanted to share that with you, because I guarantee there's some people listening right now going, hey, honey, did you hear what old Snip said? Yes, I did. I'm just telling you. And if your guy is the guy that wants sex a lot, and the girl used to but doesn't want it anymore, maybe she needs the hormone replacement therapy to, catch back up to him and not ruin your marriage, or, ruin things, or head down that path, because that's one thing that can ruin a marriage. It leads to a lot of other things, and resentment, and, people feeling like, they don't like me. They must think I'm ugly. I don't like my body, men and women, whoever's getting rejected, right? So, again, my wife wanting it way more than I did all these years. Let me tell you something. She felt rejected a lot. And I think I cried one time after being on this stuff, reflecting back on that and feeling how much I want it with her, and realizing she wanted it that much, maybe more. And I'm just up there watching TV or playing a game or doing something. My mind's not there because my low testosterone ain't there. It says so. And it's like, now that my numbers are up, oh my God, I'm like, I can't believe you could just, she goes, do you remember I just roll over and go to bed early? And I'm like, yeah. She goes, because I'm thinking about it and wanting it with you so bad, the only thing that could stop me would just me fall asleep. And I'm like, I'm hearing this now going, oh my God, if I only had this drive back then, like, girl, because that's how it is right now. And I'm like, I'm making it for lost time. But 22 years is a long time. And I just didn't know. She tried to get me to understand this, and now that I'm on it and I've experienced the change, now I know. And I realize, you think I'm normal, this is how I am, just leave me alone. Dude, it doesn't have to be that way. So on that note, I'm going in to get a Philly cheesesteak. Take care.